What's up, World Wide Web? I'm back in a shitty mood. What's new? Get some tagging of people going on. Yes, that's right. We're taking this literally live into F-Bomb City tonight. Because, oh yeah, that's what we do here. And like I said in the promo, we're going to do all this while getting my drink on. So it's been 2 weeks since we did part 3 of Goddzillathon. So tonight we will do part 4. Do the finale. We're going to look at brackets 9 and 10. I think where I was at. And we are going to... What's we going to do? Oh yeah, we're going to look at some toys. And yeah, I promise we'll look at something other, or we'll look at more than just Godzilla toys tonight on this show, on this episode. Gotta make sure I got all my shit prepped in the right spot because I keep moving it around beforehand. All right, so we know let's see. We know that there's an animated shows coming up on Netflix next summer, which is good because it's giving it time to go through and get final touches and all that. Knowing Kevin Smith, he's going to knock this out of the park. Unlike anybody else, I'm not really worried about the way this is going to go down. I have seen some people voice concerns about some of the voice actors. And I don't think I've really voiced anything about, or said anything really about my concern to some of the voice actors. But there is one. And I know he's a great comedian. But I don't see him. I can't. It's a good thing this is animated because I really couldn't see him doing the role in a live action thing. And I'm talking about Diedrich Bader being King Randor. I think somebody said, somebody made a comment about not seeing Alan Oppenheimer being the voice of Mossman. Also, I think that brings that he'll be able to do Mossman true justice as far as, you know, how old Mossman really is and how, you know, he's been around since pre-Eternian times. It's going to be nice to, you know, I firmly believe Alan Oppenheimer is the perfect choice for Mossman. I mean, you got to think about it. He went through an original series. Everybody's always saying, you know, Oppenheimer's the voice of Skeletor. While it's true, he was also the voice of Cringer and the voice of Man-at-Arms using his normal voice. And that was something great to see. So anyways, looking forward to that. Now, I may be a few weeks behind or a few months, whatever, week or so, who knows. I finally got around to watching the rest of the She-Ra series on Netflix. And all I'm going to say on that one is, while it was very well done, the overall story was great with the way that they started it up, continued to roll with it, and finally wrapped it all up in the end. And I'm not going to provide any spoilers in case anybody watches has not had a chance to see it. But there was some shit in that I was going, what the fuck did they do? All I'm saying is, I remember sitting there with my sister back in the day watching She-Ra originally and then watching this now and seeing like Peekaboo being depicted as being a boy. Who is it? Spinnerella and Natasha being a married lesbian couple. Now, don't get me wrong. I tend to believe that everybody has free will to make their choices. However, it was just a little, for something that I thought that they were trying to aim towards, trying to get us adults in the back, trying to watch out a little bit, but mainly for our kids. It was just kind of a shock for me, a little bit hard for me to, I was sitting there watching, like, and then the whole thing with She-Ra and Catra at the end. But anyways, like I said, I ain't going to provide any more spoilers other than what I just did. So, got that out of the way. All right, now probably where I'm going to get hate mail from Super 7, because I love getting hate mail from them. To Super 7, I say, fuck you. Reason why I say this, get an email from Entertainment Earth saying that Super 7 has pushed back the delivery dates for Snake Mountain until October. Okay, so the entire month of May of 2019, all of us went through and we put in our pre-orders for this. And we were looking at, from them originally, January of 2020. Honestly, didn't see that one happening. I was believing the May, June, July of 2020 would be more suitable. Kept seeing the updates from Brian Flynn with Super 7. Then get that email. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? But, I honestly shouldn't be surprised. No one else should be either. I mean, we are talking about Super 7 here. There's been times where we have waited over a year and a half for our figures. So for us to have to wait even longer, which will mean 17 months since we put in our pre-order. And to be honest with you, I don't even expect October. I really don't. I'm still taking my bets that it'll be sometime in 2021 before any of us that pre-order Snake Mountain will see Snake Mountain arrive at our doorstep and have them sitting up here on display. Pretty sure by then I will have a Classics Gray Skull sitting in here prepped up, or I'll hit the fucking lottery before we see Snake Mountain. That's just my honest opinion on that one. So then I'm pretty sure that does it. I know they've been showing us like the artwork for the upcoming Master Universe Origins line, for different things. It's looking great. Going to be excited to see, those on shelves. Hopefully Mattel manages to go through and pull off getting them here in the fall of 2020. Anyways. All right. Skip out from the toy talk and everything for a minute. Not a political guy. I think there's dumbasses on both sides of the political spectrum. A lot of them. Too many to keep count of. But a lot of us have been trapped in our homes and everything. A lot of people around the country have been trapped, and in fact, around the world, have been trapped in their homes last few months. Everybody worried about this pandemic shit. Some of us, like me and just about every police officer, fireman, anybody in the medical field has had to go to work. Grocery store employees. A lot of us still had to go to work, to keep this country rolling. But I have an issue right now. And since this is my YouTube page, and I'll probably get flagged for it and whatnot. I'm going to say that I do not, while right now we've got a situation where up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, you had a African American killed by a white cop. Now, I've seen multiple reports. He's never done anything wrong. He's got a whole list of things that he's done wrong. Let people who need to deal with this deal with that part of it. People want to protest. That's fine. I can understand that. I get that. Especially, you can see a lot of these peaceful protests going on. That's fine. That's cool. That's awesome. We as human beings are eventually going to get to that point of where we're tired of shit. And, there's not a day don't go by. There's some kind of shooting, whether it be a police officer shooting some unarmed civilian or vice versa, or the civilian goes there and shooting the police officer. It goes on every day, multiple times a day. And it's not just white cops shooting black people, or black cops shooting white people, or white people shooting black cops, or black people shooting white cops. It's nothing like that. It's of all races, creeds, whatever, going on all the time. But I firmly believe that we as humans are pretty much getting tired of seeing it. And then only seeing one side getting dealt with while the other side doesn't whenever it happens. And when I say that, I'm saying that, okay, cops go through and they shoot or kill an unarmed civilian or something. You don't really see the kind of justice towards that police officer that you do, say, if the civilian shoots a cop. I don't condone it on either ends, all right? Don't anybody think that I'm condoning. But there's a lot better way of dealing with it, people, than going through and terrorizing your city, destroying things, burning things up, loot and riot, these violent riots. There's a better way to deal with this shit. There really is. I've seen where it's going on, start, up there in Minnesota. And now a lot of these bigger cities are getting it. Hell, I seen where, some of that stupid shit was starting to happen here in the city that I live in. But I've also seen where they've had these peaceful protests and they're going through and they're talking to the police. They're talking to their government officials, trying to come up with a peaceful resolution other than all this violent crap that's going on day in, day out. I feel bad for my kids having to grow up in this kind of society and knowing that the way it's going, it's going to be a very shitty society whenever I'm dead and gone, and they're still going. Not the kind of thing I want my kids to be living in and seeing on a daily, having to see on a daily basis. And we see it all the time. All right, Tom. All right, I'm done with that rant. Let's get on with the real show. All right, so 2 weeks ago we did cover brackets 7 and 8, and I may have fucked something up. I don't know. I may have to look at my things up here above. But anyways, for bracket 7, we had the 2000X Beastman actually pulling out the win over Evil Lynn. I don't know where I put the wrong one up there. Then we got Death Botto getting the win over King Hiss. Intergalactic Skeletor pulling off its win, Green Merman, and then the 2000X Snake Man at Arms, Snake Man at Arms, getting a win over Raynor. Bracket 8, it was Jitsu over Twistoid, Skelewraith over the 2000X Buzz-Off, Horde Prime over the Battle Cat, and Blade over the 2000X Roboto. All right, that's out of the way. So now we get into the second half of the second round, which means brackets 9 and 10. And yeah, we got some cool shit coming up on display here shortly. All kinds of cool little shit I've gotten over the last few weeks. All right, so let's go ahead and let's start off with, we'll get bracket 9 up out of the way so we can hurry and get this over with and I can finish my Godzillathon. Which means I probably ought to do something else while I'm thinking about it. We got to get this all prepped and ready because, be my luck, by that time somebody will show up. All right. That's all prepped and ready. All right, so bracket 9. We'll start with the bottom here. At the 7 seed. Last round we had Skelet Wraith. This time we will have the Horde Wraith. Beautifully done figure. Got a doubt. If anybody wants more knowledge about the detail, needs to look at round 1 videos. Against something out of the custom creations thing, we've got Badra. And basically what he was before he got turned into fused up and turned into Too Bad. So yeah, we got the Horde Wraith, we got Badra. Next matchup, we've got Roboto. Another one's nicely done. Other than, a lot of people have issues with the clear body going through and cracking in spots and it yellowing a little bit. We've all had that issue. He's taking on Sky High. So we got Sky High, we got Roboto. Next matchup, we'll get that Cowboy of Eternia. Now out Rio Blast. Really, the only thing I don't like about this figure is the fact that the back piece don't want to really stay on that well. But other than that, it does look a lot better than its Filmation counterpart. Or vintage counterpart. Its opponent, courtesy of Crapper 7. We're talking about that Filmation Hordak. That, you can't get either one of the damn arms off. Go through and pop the gun arm on. But, so yeah, you got Rio Blast, you got that Filmation Hordak. And I'm saving my votes until I post them up on the page later. And then to finish off this 9th bracket, we've got that 2000X Staction Hordak. Can't say enough about these Staction pieces. They are much like the 2000X figures. They are well sculpted, well designed. Yeah, you can't turn them or pose these Stactions or anything, but Hordak just looks completely, really badass and evil. His opposition, the 1 seed. From Super 7's Ultimates line, we got the Ultimates Tila. All its different heads and stuff. So, recapping that one. Bracket 9, we got the Ultimates Tila against the 2000X Staction Hordak. I don't like this no commentary thing tonight. We've got the Rio Blast against the Filmation Hordak, Roboto and Sky High, and then the Horde Wraith against Badra. That's bracket 9. Bracket 10 starts off with the 2000X Tila. Like I said, can't really go wrong with the design sculpts on these. Her opposition, that big old massive battle ram. And if anybody saw the battle ram episode, I couldn't go on enough about the detail, the sculpt, and everything they did with getting this thing looking really badass looking. So then we get that Cosmic Enforcer Zodak. His opponent, one of my favorites, Too Bad. Nice to see they went through and they put the arms down the sides instead of up on the top of the shoulders like they did the vintage figure. Did a great job with the design, sculpt on this. Really awesome looking. So yeah, there you go. Too Bad and Zodak. Next round, we get from the Mark Myers Custom Lab, we get that customized 2000X style Classics Mechanic in all his badassness right there. His opponent, he's dead, he's deceased, but he's still haunting everybody. We're talking about the Spirit of Hordak. Much like every other Hordak, it is well done and everything. And really the red plastic see-through version still looks as good as any of the others. And then finally, getting the end of bracket 10, we've got we get Dial-A-Mug. Honestly, for a character I've only seen in She-Ra a couple times, mainly just in the He-Man She-Ra movie, this figure actually looks really awesome looking. I love being able to change the face around. He gets the guy that got the first round bye, and we're talking about Prince Adam. Got a feeling this is going to be the Prince's last dance. Just saying. All right, so for bracket 10, we've got Prince Adam against Dial-A-Mug, Spirit of Hordak versus the custom 2000X style Classics Mechanic, Too Bad against Zodak, and then the 2000X Tila against the Battle Ram. That does it for the bracketology for this week. Since I went a little bit there for your bear, have me a drink. Oh, yeah. That's why I always label this not kid friendly, because no one wants to see their host drinking. No little kid needs to see their host drinking. All right. So that means it's time. Hey. That ain't the right one. Back up. Yes, that's right. It's time to go through and get this Godzillathon wrapped up, out of the way, done. So that means we're going to take a look tonight at, we've looked at other things. We've looked at all the different kaiju that Godzilla's faced off with. We've looked at the movies. We've talked about, how he's transformed throughout the movies. Man, go figure. All right. So tonight we're going to take a look at like the cultural impact that Godzilla's honestly had. throughout the last 56 years. And let's face it, he's had one hell of a impact on things. Honestly has. Oh, I forgot about that. By the way, everybody in YouTube land, raise your glasses. Here's my toast. Happy birthday coming up to Kevin Castillo. We're not going to say how old he turns. 34. I mean, I got the numbers backwards. But anyways, yeah, we're take a look at the cultural impact that Godzilla's honestly had on the world. Because, I mean, let's face it, he is one of the most recognizable symbols of, popular Japanese culture worldwide. And actually remains an important facet to Japanese films, embodying the kaiju subset of the, of the genre. His vaguely humanoid appearances, strange lumbering movements that's endeared itself to Japanese audiences who could relate to Godzilla as a sympathetic character, despite, his destructive nature. Everybody's always responded positively to the character because it acts out of rage and self-preservation and shows where science and technology can go wrong. He's basically been considered to be a film metaphor here in the United States, as well as like an allegory of nuclear weapons in general. Especially the earlier Godzilla movies, portrayed Godzilla as a frightening nuclear-spawned monster. He represented the fears that many Japanese held about the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the possible reoccurrence of, that could happen. We know as the series progressed, so Godzilla changing to less destructive and a more of a hero. In all honesty, there's been times where he's been viewed as a anti-hero. We've seen it. He is considered to be the original radioactive superhero due to his, his origins, predating, definitely Spider-Man. Of course, he really didn't become a hero until, Ghidorah in 1964. Throughout the 1970s was viewed to be a hero, superhero. Like, what was it, in 1977, King of Monsters magazine described Godzilla as the superhero of the 1970s. He also surpassed Batman and Superman and become the most universally popular superhero of 1977. Also in 1973, in the Monster Times, was voted the most popular movie monster, beating out Dracula, King Kong, the Wolfman, Mummy, a lot of the greats. 1996, they gave him, the MTV Lifetime Achievement Award, which basically you can say I went to Toho for what they did. And then at the premiere of the Final Wars, getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Without a doubt. Because, everybody deserves it. Anybody that's worked on the Godzilla films through Toho definitely deserves that one. A lot of things about him has led, has been a mistaken assumption about the character being in public domain. And he's not. Toho has went to bat, in courts with several different companies over the years, keep them from going through and doing a knockoff version. He's also been responsible for a lot of things. Spielberg himself cited Godzilla as an inspiration for Jurassic Park. Specifically, the Godzilla King of Monsters, which he grew up watching. So, and also to encourage tourism, in April 2015, there was this Shinjuku ward of Tokyo named Godzilla as official cultural ambassador during the unveiling of a giant Godzilla bust at Toho headquarters. The mayor stated Godzilla is a character that is the pride of Japan. Honestly, with Japan, Toho, anybody should be very proud of what they've done in the last 56 years. Apparently, also the mayor extended a residency certificate to an actor in a rubber suit representing Godzilla, but the suit's hands were not designed for grasping, and accepted on Godzilla's behalf by a Toho executive. Reporters also noted that Shinjuku Ward has been flattened by Godzilla in 3 different Toho movies. So without doubt, let's face it, that big old monsters definitely had a definite cultural impact. Around the world, everybody says Godzilla, and they know him. They know of the monster. And some people can go through and name off some of the different kaiju that Godzilla's had to face over the years. Believe it or not, a lot of people I've talked to, you mentioned Godzilla, the first thing that comes to mind is actually Mecha Godzilla. So, all right, so now we've looked at the Godzilla in general. We looked at the movies. We looked at all the different kaiju he's had to face over the years. We've looked at the cultural impact that Godzilla seriously had on the world. Trust me, I have neighbors that live over on this side of the house that I forget where in Africa they come from. But they're some of the nicest people I've ever met, honestly. They've went through, or I've went through and I've talked to them, and they've seen some of the stuff I've brought home from time to time. But they see me come home with something that's, it says Godzilla on the box, and they light up. They know him. It's pretty damn awesome. And like I said, it don't matter where in the world you go to, everybody knows. So it's pretty cool. All right, so now, like I said, Legendary Pictures and everything. They started the whole MonsterVerse thing. They kicked it off with Godzilla in 2014. Kept it going with with Kong Skull Island, and then Godzilla King of Monsters, and then we're looking at Godzilla versus Kong November of this year. So we look at the King of the legendary version, courtesy of NECA. We get from the 2014 Godzilla movie. We get this awesome looking dude and everything depicted movie wise very, very well. And you do see the differences in how he looks. And like I said, anything made here in America, this was 10 times better than what we got from Roland Emmerich back in 98, with that whole thing of Ferris Bueller meets the irradiated iguana. So then once King of Monsters come out, we did get a a little bit lighter, grayer version of him, which actually made the detail and everything. And actually, there ain't no difference in the detail between these two. There really ain't. With this one, you can see the detail in the spines. Actually, they made the spines look a lot bigger. I just now noticed that. Wow. See what happens when I drink and get noticing things? Whoever it is can go away. What? Like I said, you do get a better look at the spine, definitely the spines and the overall detail of the figure. Looks a heck of a lot better than actually the 2014 version. Then they were courteous enough to go through and give us that version of him going through and just lighten it up. Let's see if I can get that back in there just right. He came with the beam, which you can go through and attach that end on there so it looks like it's hitting. And honestly, looks really badass with the blue fins. And they've got a red version of it, which really looks really badass looking. Now, since the last show, I did have a chance to go through and pick up, got a hold of another one. And this one's from the Godzilla vs. Mothra movie, which this dude even looks pretty damn badass looking. And I had to look multiple times to make sure I didn't already have this one. Now, the funny part is, and I don't know what the hell I did with it, but he had the the atomic blast to come out of his mouth, but you go to look, and there's actually no hole in his mouth for where you put that in there. Kevin, I'll tell you right now, it's from where I had that extra one that I got. Went through and super glued this one because I have the other one, the other set here that came with that one. So I actually went through and put like a little bit of super glue in there to hold that one in place. It ain't coming off there. That and do not try this while being intoxicated, folks. So yeah, we definitely got some NECA, definitely some NECA goodness for Godzilla. And then with the legendary movies, whole MonsterVerse thing, they've went through and, they've done a Rodan and they did a Mothra. I really wish they would do a King Ghidorah. Now, the other company makes Godzilla figures that I've not really gotten much into, but somebody who might be watching this show right now sent me some little miniature Bandai Godzilla figures, and my youngest son absolutely loves these things. So it had like a little miniature version of Mothra, the Gigan. These things are really like kind of cute and don't really kind of freak me out really, like those damn Dorbs figures do when it comes to Masters Universe line. We got a Mecha Godzilla, which seems to be my 7-year-old's favorite to go through and beat the crap out of the next three. He will seriously pick this one, the Gigan, and Mothra to beat up the next three. Which of the next three, we got Destroyer, and then we get a King Ghidorah. And it wouldn't be right if you didn't top the list out with, what's up, Gavin? With Godzilla himself. Like I said, he'll go through and he'll take these and just smash the crap out of them. Oh crap, I just realized I'm just about to have a drink. Alright, so I said I wanted to look at, more than just the toys. Or Godzilla toys. So managed to finally pick up my pre-order today down at GameStop, since they're finally open to the public. And we get the Black Series from the Mandalorian. We're talking about the child. Love how everybody calls him like little baby Yoda. Since he's not baby Yoda, because Yoda's already died at this point. So, managed to get them all in. All right, where is it at? Yeah, we're going to get these little suckers out. Get this little dude out here. So, it looks like he comes with his little water or his little cup that he drinks out of, and one of those little frogs that we saw him eat. And I was really surprised with how small this thing is. I mean, this thing is freaking small. Like I said, he is small. I mean, I think I showed one day like my Lego Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, right? He is tiny. So he's one of those ones you definitely don't want to really take out of the package too much. Honestly, don't. Because if you lose this thing, that's it. Game over. You drop him underneath something, it's probably gone. Put him back in the box so he don't get lost. But yeah, definitely cool little figure. Anybody that's watched that show, The Mandalorian, had to have without a doubt loved that little character. Without a doubt. Picked those up, pre-ordered plus that, and somebody asked me to pick some up for him too, pre-order wise. So I made sure he got the hookup. Yeah, well, you got your Mando, you got your Kara. You do have a child coming your way. We'll talk about that one after the show. So so we went through, we talked about things that irritate the living piss out of me. We talked about Motu, Master stuff. We looked at who won bracket 7 and 8, along with the unveiling brackets 9 and 10. Then we looked at the cultural impact of Godzilla, followed up by looking at some cool looking Godzilla toys, and then looking at that Black Series child. Sorry, I will not call him Baby Yoda. He is the child. All right, so next time, because whether it be this coming week or 2 weeks from now, we will, of course, look at who won brackets 9, 10, unveil 11 and 12. And we'll look at some more cool shit. Game plan is hopefully to be looking at some Ghostbuster stuff, maybe. That's what we're going to try for. So, until next time, I'm E-Daddy. I'm your angry guy. And remember, go through and keep on collecting so toy makers keep giving us shit. And these lines do not die. Later.